Hey, you! I'm your nutrition coach. My name is Jackie Poole. Welcome to Happiness is a Healthier Habit. Let's get today's episode started. Hello. Welcome to another episode. Happy Tuesday. Like always, I am so excited that you are here today. I feel a lot of energy right now. I had a coffee shake this morning with some protein, and I also had a little boost for the morning. So I feel super energized, super like I can do anything right now. And so I'm standing up in my desk right now, recording and talking to you, and I'm so excited. But also, I want to remind you, if you don't follow the show, if you're not subscribed to the show, please do so. That way you will get the show automatically. Also, if you love what you're listening, please just give me 5 stars so I can move up, and other people that want to get healthy, want to improve their health, can find me an easier way. So today what we're going to be talking about is activating brown fat for weight loss. And so we have been taught to think that food is just calories in versus calories out, but that's simply not true, and it's something that we've been aware of. So what makes me different as a nutrition coach is we not only talk about food and physical nutrition, but we also talk about mental nutrition. We also talk about spiritual nutrition, because it's all of these things, what we see, what we hear, what we do, what we put in our bodies, it's all feeding ourselves. And so nutrition has everything to do with what we listen to, what we hear. And so super crucial that we are aware of what we are feeding, not only our body, but we're feeding our brain as well. And so going back to activating our brown fat, when we think of calories, when we think of food, 100 calories of a donut is not the same thing as 100 calories of a blueberry. And if you think about food is more of a stimulus for our brains. So our body does do better when we have whole natural foods. Now, if you think about it, blueberries have all these vitamins, antioxidants, fiber, and donuts are fried in most likely and not the best oils and soaked in sugar and processed flour. So it is not the same when it comes down to calories, right? When we're tracking macros, if you're doing something like that, you also have to be aware of what you're putting in our bodies and the type of foods that we're putting in our bodies. And so when we can get our hands on better, food, if we move our body more, our body's definitely going to be growing more efficiently, and it's definitely going to be more resilient as the years go on. So again, we're talking about activating brown fat. So we are going to learn today what to do to activate our brown fat to improve weight loss results. This is great because this has everything to do with certain habits and timing of these habits as well. So we're going to be talking about what is brown fat, if you've never heard of that, how to activate brown fat, as well as how to improve fat loss, right? Because weight loss doesn't necessarily mean fat loss. We want to reduce our fat and we want to improve our muscle ratio. So let's talk about what is brown fat. If you've never heard of this term before, I've actually read it in, I believe it was How to Eat Better. or Learn Tree Better. I forgot the title of the book. I will link it below, but it has a lot of nutrition advice that I definitely read a few years ago and is very interesting. And that's when I learned about brown fat. And so I really wanted to dive in since there's been a lot more research in the past couple of years regarding this term. So what is brown fat? Brown fat is AKA like adipose tissue. So it's basically just fat that you have in your body, but it's a little bit more colored. When you think about fat, it can be like this yellow rubber texture to it. If you cook chicken or clean chicken before, raw chicken, you've seen kind of like the fat. Maybe you've peeled it off before and you've removed the fat, right? Or at least I know I have. And so brown fat is found most likely kind of like around your collarbones, upper back, sometimes along the spine. Brown fat actually burns more energy for heat, definitely more prominent when you are babies, and it definitely reduces as we get older. There are reasons for its name, and that's because this specific fat has a lot more mitochondria, which, if you remember, mitochondria is just kind of like the battery in our cells. So this can definitely boost your metabolism. So, how to activate brown fat? Our goal here is to achieve lipolysis. So what does that mean? It means process of using the energy from our stored fat to use for fuel, right? And that's basically what we want. So we are leaner. That's what we want our body to do. We don't want our body to store fat. We want it to use what it has. So we are healthier, so we feel better, so we feel more comfortable in our own skin. And so we're going to be talking about ways to improve fat loss, but right now we're going to focus on how to activate it. And so a review of existing research published in March 2019 reported both cold exposure and exercise, could help trigger brown fat in the body. So in this research, brown adipose tissue was shortened for BAT. So in the purposes of making it short, that's what I'll be calling it as well. So BAT is a thermogenic tissue that consumes substantial amount of glucose and fatty acids as fuel for thermogenesis and energy expenditure, aka increasing our metabolism. Basically, what I explained earlier, we want this tissue, this fat, to go through the process of lipolysis, which is the process of using energy from our fat to fuel. And so in this research, exercise enhanced not only our insulin sensitivity, improved our glucose tolerance, it reduced circulating lipids, it also improved our metabolic rate. So basically, in this study, doing like cold plunges after doing, workouts like running or strength training or HIIT workouts, any exercises that you did, and then went ahead and did a cold plunge, that seemed to essentially activate the brown fat, which helped you burn more fat for fuel in the long run. So I know it can be very challenging to get things done around the house, but I have a very simple solution. Feeling overwhelmed with kids being at home can lead you to think that you might have to push your weight loss journey or weight loss goals because it's not the right time, right? I have time, I'll do it later when they start back to school. But then we have back to school, we're getting them to school, we're buying all these things, and then we have all of these holidays coming up, and then we let ourselves just keep pushing it back to later. So The time to work on yourself is now. The kids are looking up to you, and I can guarantee you a sustainable process for making it simple with a step-by-step program to lose weight and keep the results with my habitual sunrise map coaching program. Again, life can be a little bit overwhelming, but having accountability to finally see results, feel energized, feel confident in your own skin, in your own body, feel good where you're at right now, and feel so happy on the progress that you're going to be making to finally losing weight. So schedule a discovery call today. The link will be below. Now back to the show. So in the process of all of this, we are down to the good part. How to improve our fat loss. So there's a few things that we should do when we want to activate this brown fat, when we want to focus on improving our fat loss, right? And so we're going to talk about a few things that we are going to kind of check first, kind of like checks and balances, that our body's actually working the way it should be. And one of the most important things that we should focus on when we want to lose weight is, number one, we want to check inflammation. This means you're sleeping well. This means you're focusing on whole foods. This means you don't have any nutrient deficiencies. That means your immune system has a good response. It's always so interesting how people are saying they're always sick, their kids are always getting sick. And actually, that is something that is not normal. And it should be something that's kind of like a little red flag, because your immune system should be able to fight most things. I'm not saying that you never should get sick, but there's going to be times where you're constantly getting sick, constantly having allergies or things like that. Is because the body is very inflamed. So we have to check our inflammation. Number two is really knowing that our body is detoxifying well. So that kind of ties back to checking your inflammation, because if you're inflamed, that means you're not detoxifying well. That means you could also maybe have too much alcohol. You could also reduce your processed foods. Also reducing commercial drugs that have not side effects, but they have direct effects. So if you're on a lot of medications or things like that, they also have side effects. And so they are not side effects, like I said, they are direct effect to your body. So talking to your doctor maybe on changing some things or reducing the amount of your over-the-counter medications can also help your body detoxify as well. Saunas are also a great way to detoxify. Lymphatic drainage massages are great because they help your lymph system move, as well as just walking, making sure your movement throughout the day. If you're getting an average of, 7,000 to 8,000 minimum steps, that's really great. So if you're not there yet, that's something that you might want to bump up, because it's going to help your body detoxify. And this also includes supplements. Sometimes some people take a lot of supplements that they might not need. If you've heard that, oh, this is good for you and this other thing is good for you, well, that is great. Your body might actually not need that specific supplement. So maybe kind of reducing like a week going without your supplements, that's always a good thing to kind of give it a go. So your body and your liver are not bombarded with all of these supplements, and it's good to just give your liver a break as well. Number 3 is improving your hormone health. Doing simple tests to actually evaluate what is going on with your body, especially if you're someone that has aka like tried everything and you can't lose weight. That can also be an issue, and kind of going to the root source of what is going on is really crucial to get an overview, because sometimes it's so impactful to know that information, because you know kind of like why and how things are working currently in your body. It gives you insights on what is really going on. So please don't let someone say that you have a cortisol phase. I've kind of heard that a few times already, and that's really not the way to say that you have high cortisol. You just don't know until you test it. And you might be having symptoms, might be able to sleep, you might be super tired in the morning. So things like that will affect your ability to lose weight. So we won't know until you improve that if you're having symptoms like that. So always good to just test it out, and I have that capacity to order those tests and for you to talk to a physician if that's something that you are looking for. And number 4 is regulating your appetite. So take time to learn about portions, prepping meals, maybe not eating too late, not skipping meals, having, good high protein in the morning. And we discuss this in the program. We go step by step. So if you're ready to make some changes, make better habits, feel confident in your own body, I would suggest to schedule a call today and let's just talk about what some struggles that you're having and how we can improve fat loss. So I hope this was informative today. I hope you learned something new today. I suggest to go try some cold plunges. Actually, this week I am by myself, and it's been like 2 full days that I'm without kids, without husband, and it's very interesting how I felt, because the first day I was like, oh, this is amazing. And so today I'm kind of like, last night I was feeling kind of lonely, and it's such a lonely life when it's just me, and I kind of really miss my kids. I didn't think it was gonna be like, oh, I'll be fine, I'm gonna enjoy my nice quiet time, but I'm so used to being around them, even though I'm constantly telling them to be quiet, to go outside, to stop fighting, that we're out of food or whatever it is. I miss that right now. So it's important to take account for what you're doing. And so, but anyways, I decided to go get some ice. I'm not going to go pay $30 somewhere. I have a bathtub. I'm by myself. I'm going to go get some ice and just fill it with the bathtub. I'm just going to kind of gauge it and see, get 2 bags of ice. It's going to cost me $4, and do a cold plunge one of these days here in my bathtub. So we'll see how that goes. And that definitely also helps with your mentality as far as like your capacity to do hard things, because sometimes I even debate about taking cold showers. There's a moment where I was taking cold showers, and right now I say I'm gonna take one, and oh my God, I just cannot. It is too cold. But it also has something to do with your mentality and how it brings you to do hard things. It makes you believe that you can do hard things. So it also improves your mindset and encourages you to do hard things, and kind of promotes that ability to believe in yourself, even doing a simple thing as cold plunging. So if you try it, let me know. That's my goal for the week, to do a cold plunge this week, and let's see how it goes. It was nice talking to you, and I will chat with you next time. Bye.